Alright, I thought I would do a little bit of video about, I'll just kind of give you a little shop tour and stuff. Some of the stuff I'm working on, I've got a Firestone S7400-3 radio here. I completely had to gut out and had a lot of chewed up wiring and from rodents, and so it also had some rubber wiring in it and some of the cloth wiring that was just cloth over rubber, and plus some rust, and I ended up just repainting the chassis on it and ended up putting the sockets back in and cleaning everything up and slowly putting her back together. So I do work on things once in a while, quite often actually. Let's see, another radio I'm working on is in the process of finally cleaning everything up. This had a lot of old rubber wiring in it, and it's pretty much all deteriorated, and had to paint the chassis on it and stuff. So that was the closest color I could find to the original. It's not exact by any means. I just primed the inside. It was badly rusted, and now we're just in the process of I'll get everything cleaned up, and we'll start out with the sockets and start wiring her back together. Yeah, I got various other radios. There's another little radio here that's waiting on some parts and get it done. Some of these underneath here, which is kind of hard to see, I don't have a light, I'm sorry, but they're finished. Now it's time to work on the cabinets, which I got to get onto and work on. Anyway, let's look at some of the test equipment. We'll probably just start down this way and work our way across. And this way, we've got, I got a Philco tube tester, and the one behind there is a Heathkit TC1. Both work good. And then I've got a Precision 910. It's in this little box. And then this is an I-77B Hickok as well. A leader test pattern generator, LCG 400, works great. And moving on, this little jobby here is the B&K 1077B. Wonderful unit. I completely restored it. Works like a champ. Not only you can do test patterns, but you can inject any signal throughout the TV. You can inject video, you can inject the IFs, RFs, and stuff. So, as well as check your flyback and yoke test signals and stuff, and you can actually inject in vertical and horizontal if you need to. Right underneath it is another Heathkit. This one I had to rebuild partially. It came to me not working. It's a nice sweep generator that I can do any frequency range with. It's post marker, which means it puts in the marker after the fact. Night is generally a kit, and it was they didn't wire the power supply correctly, and ended up blowing out some transistors, and I don't think it ever worked. And burned up a power resistor in there. It got it so hot it was melting the solder. So yeah, you gotta hook stuff up right when you're doing kits. Right next to it is another sweep generator. It's for more modern TVs with the 41, 42 megahertz on your IFs. And got me a couple of 100 megahertz oscilloscopes, both analog This one is digitalized. Basically it means that on the readouts on here you can actually measure the, where am I here? Here we are. You can do your markers for, cursors for voltage and time, which means you can check frequency. The other one is a leader LB516. I need to do some work to it. It's got a problem with the input. It's probably just a connection or a solder joint. Kind of comes and goes. Little WV77E volt ohms that I rebuilt, restored, cleaned up. That was actually a kit. And my newest member, the Hacko, my other soldering iron finally bit the dust, and so I bought this. Works like a champ. Isolation transformer. This is the same thing as an RCA. It's a VIS. I think VIS bought out RCA or something like that. Of course, a frequency counter, HP frequency counter. RCA WR50B. Wonderful little tool. It's been fully calibrated and everything. The nice thing about these, if you're working on a radio, they will sweep the FM and the standard AM IFs. 10.7 megahertz for the FM, 455 kilohertz for the AM, and it makes it real nice. You can set it up and do a visual alignment. Right next to it is another Heath kit, IM11, I believe it is. Its primary purpose and only purpose in life, for me anyway, is it's hooked to a high voltage probe, and I use it for that. Above it is my 950B ICO, and I use this for testing my capacitors. I restored it and calibrated her up, and she's right on the money, and works really good. Well, it'll actually put out, it says 500 volts, but I can get it, when you crank it clear to 500, you get about 525 volts. But in any case, it's really good for checking leakage for most of these paper caps and electrolytics. Above there is another ICO 368 TV FM sweep generator, and it works. I got my roll of wire and more wire up there and stuff. Right next to it is my little homebrew Variac. I just put a Variac in a case and then hooked up an amp meter and an old meter off an old B&K. I think that was off of a picture tube tester or something that was bad. Transformer shot in it. But anyway, I got it calibrated so that it reads voltage on the top scale there, from 0 through 13. Well, 13 is 130 volts. Right next to it, homebrew audio generator I built. Below it is one of my favorite signal generators, RF generators, is the Philco 7200. Works like a champ. The ICO 944B, or 944, I don't know where I got the B from, I guess from the 950B. Anyway, it's a flyback and yoke tester. Another Junior volt ohms right next to it that I use once in a while. The VTVM I use the most is this one, mainly because I love the meter size, and my eyesight's not as good as it used to be, so the bigger the meter, the better it is. Plus it will do amperage. But this is a WV87B. This is a signal tracer I built. All a signal tracer is just an audio amplifier. And then I made up two probes for it, one for doing just audio and an RF probe, demodulation probe, detector probe, that I can use on it too when you're doing tracing signals in your RF and IF circuits. Just some tools and stuff in those cabinets and more tools underneath. We have parts and parts and parts. This here is a Syncor CR70. If you're real serious about TV and real serious about testing picture tubes and you work a lot of TVs, this is the one to get. They can be pricey, but they're well worth it. The one thing for sure is it's the only one that'll test like a 7JP4, the little 7-inch, and then also they made some 8-inch electrostatic tubes, picture tubes, that you find in the little Admiral TVs and little Motorola TVs. And for you, Bob, yes, I do have all the connectors, including the universal. And it even came with a Allen wrench for some reason. I haven't figured out what that's for. But I really like it, and it works grand. Like I said, we got parts, we got supplies, and various other parts and stuff, and tool cabinets, and more parts over here, and stuff, and various power tools and things, working on radios and other tools. We got a bunch of radios down underneath here that need work on, so I've got a lot of work to do, and you can't see all of them. There's more setting up on here and stuff. Got a lot of cabinets that need to be redone, which I'll try to get to some as the weather now is cooling down. It's a little nicer out here. Various cabinets, more cabinets over there, and radios and stuff. And of course it's a garage, so also storage. SAMS manuals, more SAMS manuals. There's some Magnavox manuals in here, and RCA manuals, and I don't know, some Beatmans, Spartans, and various other ones. That's amongst all this stuff. And as well as some tube caddies and boxes of tubes, tube boxes there, more boxes over there, some back underneath. And these radios down here are all finished, except I did drop a tube from one of them underneath here, but otherwise they're all finished, waiting for the cabinets to be done. And various cables and stuff like that. What else is there? Well, there's my dim bulb tester. I tore this refrigerator, which I think is kind of nice. It happens to be a Philco refrigerator. It was shot. I just keep various stuff in here. Of actually a lot of parts and stuff. And some more stuff over here. I keep old capacitors. You never know when you might need one. To stuff, there's various different brands in there. There's some Admirals, Motorola's, and other stuff, and plus some off-breed brands. Various transformers, used parts and stuff and things. That's about it. It's like I say, it's also a garage, so we have the lawnmowers, and we try to keep it open because my son-in-law thinks, well, it's a garage, it's a place to change oil and work on cars, so that's where he brings his vehicle to change his oil. So anyway, it's just a little tour of my little humble shop, and this little spot right here is where I do a lot of the videos. There's the whiteboard, the infamous whiteboard, and well, I think that's about it. I glad to hear from you guys. I do try, you know, there was a comment made that the understanding that, yes, I'm busy. Well, yeah, but I don't want to make it seem like, and I didn't want it to sound like that I was too busy to talk to you guys. It's not that. I'm an old guy, and I never took typing in school. Should have. Wish I did. So I'm slightly better than hunt and peck, you know. But if I could squeeze out 10 words a minute, that's a good day. But the other thing too is I've tried every kind of keyboard out there, and not a single one of them has ever relieved any pain. And usually after about 2 sentences, my wrists are killing me, and from arthritis. And so I do try to, you know, let you guys know. Plus, sometimes I feel kind of really, I'm not real wordy or anything like that. I don't write books or anything. So I kind of feel stupid when I sit there and seem like I'm repeating myself, telling you all, well, thanks for watching and thanks for your comments, and I'm glad you enjoyed it, because I just can't really think of anything else unless you know, like ask me a question about something or something that I can answer. But you know, I feel like I'm just constantly repeating myself, and which I guess I am, but because I just can't think of anything else to say. I really do appreciate the comments, and I do read every one of them, and so I just want you to understand I am not too busy for you. So don't think that. This is primarily a retirement hobby. I mean, I do some stuff to make money at, and I also work on family and friends stuff if they've got it. But if they got anything that's at least old, my eyesight's not good enough, nor am steady enough to work on any modern day stuff. So. Anyway, that's it, and thank you for watching, and thank you ahead of time for all your comments. Take care. More to come.